everyone. Okay, so Equinox, we're still going for it. 24th of September. So this is the last day of the Sabbath of Mabon. But of course, as in Equinox, but the rest of the autumn, we still call it the Sabbath of Mabon. So you will continue this right through the autumn of Mabon. Okay, so this Equinox work finishes today. So basically, this is more about your training and your gathering. Let's call it your gathering. It sounds much better than training. Training just sounds so ugh. It's your gathering for the rest of the month. So what you've learned over these last few days with me in here is your gathering for what you're going to be doing for the rest of the autumn of Mabon. Okay, so let's get on with your last bit of gathering. So candles. Have you got some gold and green candles? No, you can either get the little ones. The little ones are actually called spell candles. The reason why they're little is so they don't, so because in spells we tend to burn the whole candle. If you had a really big one, you'd be there all day and night waiting for burnouts. Okay, so little spell candles are little for a reason, so you can burn them to the end. So they're very good for journaling. So what I want you to do is get some gold ones and green ones if you can. Spell candles. They do some very nice ones at the moment called cedar. They're green and they're called cedar and pine, my favorite. And you can get some yellow ones or gold ones. It doesn't have to be gold, it can be yellow. Okay, so the little spell ones, get yourself a little spell holders each. They're very easy to pick up and cheap, so if you can, you don't have to. And what I want you to do is to light them both while you're journaling. Okay, so the gold candle will be for the sun and harvest blessings, and the green candle will be for fertility, as in bringing in abundance and grounding. So both are representing the light and the dark. So the sun, the yellow one, is all about our rewards, and the green one is about those evergreens. Remember, resilience, endurance, consistency, and grounding ourselves while we're doing it, remembering the loaf of bread, okay, which Goddess Modron tells us that we need the bread, hard work, the green, that's the green, okay, and then we have to have patience for it to ferment, that's the red and the autumn colours that you've already learned in the last videos, and then we have it's cut. So that's the sun, that's the gold, which is our blessings. Okay, so you would have already listened to the last video. So do you see where it's all coming in? So yeah, think about that. Green for the gold, green for the harvest blessings. I'm getting mixed up now. Gold for the harvest blessings, and green for your grounding and bringing through. So that fertility, growing, okay, bringing it through. So if that makes sense, got them in the end. Harvest altar, they're just beautiful. Just don't go buying any silly things, okay, made of rock and stone from some poor factory that charges everybody minimum wage. Nature has everything for you, except candles, and you don't really need them either because nature's got everything. So wheat, you can get corn, can't you? Leaves, autumn leaves, mosh posh them with glitter if you want to preserve them. Apples, okay, acorns from the forest. This is your sacred space, okay, so you can get everything in the forest but the corn, but it's still natural. You get bundles of corn on that big brown box place called Amazon. I've bought them there before I've bought wheat there before to make corn dollies, because this is going to be a mirror of the turning season. So when you look at your altar, you will remember what we've spoke about. So those acorns for the reward, the apple, remember the rebirth, that patience, that the seeds, new ideas, remember the apple seeds, the leaves, the golden leaves, okay, showing the harvest, and the wheat reminds you of the loaf of bread story that Goddess Modron told us. That story is very old, it's very ancient, okay, it's the old ways. So I want you to think about doing that. When your brain sees it, it will trigger, especially the wheat, the bread. Amazing. Even if you put some wheat on your altar, put a bundle of wheat somewhere, it will remind your brain about the loaf of bread, and it will change your life, because your brain, it's your mindset. Witchcraft is very much about mindset. It's not, you know, it's the science of witchcraft's mindset. Changing your mindset changes your life. Okay, literally, that's what you're doing. So I'm going to give you some reflection prompts for your journal. Okay, now I do have some prompts I've written down, so ready for you. So get your journals out. You're going to be doing some journaling, aren't you? Well, hopefully you don't have to. So number 1, okay, what am I ready to harvest from this season of my life? So what are you ready, okay, to bring forth? So think of something you want to be, want to do. You know, it could be something very tiny, like you want to make that staff. I definitely want to make my staff, that's one of mine. Or it could be, I want to be an entrepreneur. Or it could be, I want to go to art university. It doesn't matter, okay, whatever it is. Second one is, what do I need to release as I step into that dark half of the year? So what do you need to release? Do you need to put your foot down a bit? Boundaries. Do you need to start saying, I'm not cooking the tea no more, you cook your own? Is it that you need to say, okay, I'm going to not give anything, you know, all my time away for free all the time? I'm going to say no. Or is it you're going to say, right, I'm going to have time to myself and I'm just going to trust in the process? Anything you can think of, write it down. The third one is, how can I bring balance between my light and my shadow? So the shadow side would be that endurance, that evergreen, the hard work, because it is shadow. And the light would be feasting. Okay, so when we think of the bread, feasting, it's ready. So how can you need to have, you don't want all hard work and endurance and nothing at the end of it. You need to have half and half. So half hard work and endurance, half reward. So what do you need to change? Okay, so is something not working? Get rid of it. Tweak it. Review it. Do it differently. Do you need to get rid of people? Are some people dragging you down? Dead wood. Do you need to set boundaries more? Do you need to get out there more? Whatever is personal to you. Write that in your journal. So that's your reflection prompts for this video. So I'm going to leave that with you. And I hope, you know, that will help you. That's for today. You don't have to do it today. Remember, these are here, these videos, for the whole of the autumn. So autumn equinox, which we've just done 21st to 24th, that's where we're gathering our wisdom. We come together as a circle. That's what they used to do in the ancient times. This is normal. This is witchcraft. Then everybody goes away. They come off the circle. You know, it's still in the circle. You come back. You go off and you use your wisdom. Now, what you've learned, we've learned together. We've brought things to the circle together. And now we've got the whole autumn to do these things. Until we come to Yule, and there'll be a load of different things to step up and do. Okay? So this is about starting to see a difference in your life. So I'm showing you how to change your life for the better. So as a witch, I believe witchcraft is to see a difference in your life. Okay, it's not pop witchcraft. It's not for fun. It's to manifest. It's to change your mindset. It's to change your life and get you from here right up to here. So it's a cycle. The wheel is a cycle on my bone. So you've got your gatherings, and when we leave this as the last video. So think of this, do this, and then you've got all the autumn equinox. You can, because we're on my bon, keep coming into this Patreon, dropping your questions under the question, under comments. I will see them. If you drop them in here, other people will see them, and that helps because you're helping other people. And then I will answer them. If you get stuck, I will answer them. Keep going. If you want a one-to-one, if you're like, oh, Guinevere, but I want to do more and I want to do it now, we do get some enthusiastic witches out there. They're sort of like, I don't know. They got like busy bees at their bottom. I do one-to-ones. You can see the link in the bio if you're stuck or you want more than I can give on here for the price. We have the one-to-ones. Just book in with me for an hour for one-to-one. Link in bio. So I'm going to leave that with you now. You've gathered. Now let's go and do the things. And I'm right behind you. I'm holding your hands. We're holding hands. We are a circle. Okay, no one's above, no one's below. Catch you soon. Witch Guinevere Rose.